Welcome back to another episode of Insidious Ghost Stories. Joking.
What?
Joking. Conspiracy theories.
Oh,
Ghost stories.
boy.
That actually does sound pretty good though, doesn't
No, I don't know.
it?
Maybe.
Insidious
I,
Ghost Stories.
this is so stupid. Ah, boy. I feel like I'm on that Are You Afraid of the Dark Midnight Society. Let's just throw the things over the flames and let's start our story. All right, Sidious, what do you want to talk about tonight?
Hey, I could even do it in a dark room with a flashlight under my face.
Fun. Um,
All right. Well, we do have new stuff about Ohio. Is it Ohio?
we have new stuff about Idaho, and Sidious really needs a map.
Insidious really needs a nap. Huh. How about a new brain? Mine's still running on dial up from like 98, man.
All right.
You gotta admit, I got you there.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
Well, we made a mistake last time we were talking. We were talking about how we thought two of the roommates were out because here's five.
Did two?
Okay. Apparently, I thought they were out because about the thing, but apparently no, they weren't out. They were home. So you have two. So which really begs the question: you have two roommates who were home on the main floor or the ground floor, the first floor, and you have four people getting murdered on the second and third floor, and if there were defensive wounds. I mean, they fought back. That means most likely they made some noise. How do you sleep through four people getting killed?
I have a theory. Insidious has a theory.
Hold on. Go ahead.
He put earplugs in their ears.
Okay, that is no. You'd wake up with someone if you'd feel that.
I don't know. They did, but they were partying.
Yeah, no. Someone will say, "Hey, man, when you're yeah, yeah," but you're telling me you wouldn't you even if you were sleeping, you wouldn't wake up to something like that.
Especially two loud girls
Three
and one obnoxious boy.
being killed. I mean, come on, you're gonna make unless they're super stealthy, but they weren't because they were defensive wounds, so they fought back. Um, how do you sleep through that? I mean, I get it.
You don't
Being
know if the
drunk,
other two are on any sleeping pills for anything. You never know.
even
There are some sleeping pills that knock you out and it takes forever to wake you up. Baby mama was on some
Of course she was.
when she
your
was
baby
pregnant
mom,
with my daughter.
your baby might have needed to stay on some. No offense.
None
Um,
taken.
Now, I mean, I'm a sound sleeper. I can sleep through the dog barking. I can sleep through the doorbell. I could even, for some reason, I can't sleep through my phone ringing. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure if someone was screaming their heads off, I'd wake up.
Just wait for you and the other half to end up having a kid. You won't be sleeping through shit.
No, I can sleep through a baby cry.
Not when it's your own.
I mean, the only reason I know this is because when I was, when I was
Like I said.
younger, and I had to sleep in the same room with Nathan when he was a baby. I had a lot
I
of
know.
fun.
It's different when it's your kid. Isn't it, Insidious? His
Well, I
mind was elsewhere.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if Citizen sleep through a baby cry normally.
Now when
I
Taylor
know.
got first up.
Yeah, I was first up with Keely.
Well, no. Anyway, moving on. So they were home, and they were just sleeping. They checked apparently the dog that didn't have any evidence on it.
Hey, wait a minute. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they just released that like the other day. They
No,
said that they what
man, we have this all wrong.
what
What?
When was this updated? 5 hours ago.
oh so
Well,
okay.
they were on 2 separate floors,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which means I'm going to guess he went to the 3rd floor first and worked his way down, or he started at the 2nd floor.
I don't know whatever floor the boyfriend was on. The boyfriend was killed first.
Whoa, 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 whoa. 31 minutes ago. Let this load. I guess I ain't going to bed early tonight.
All right. Authorities also said that they're looking into information about Kaylee having a stalker. Police said they've spoken to 2 men who may have been the stalker, but they say they've been cleared at this point. In October, the men were seen at a local business, and one of the men appeared to be following. I'm not going to say that last name. Kaylee into the store, and following her, and she headed a car. The men never made contact with her, and they think it may have been an isolated incident. And as this for, they have no evidence against them. They said they took the dog to a place to get scanned out. There was no evidence of the dog.
There was a murder in the same city in Idaho in 2015.
Anyway, they also say they don't have any evidence of forced entry onto the home. So that's a big what you do. There was no forced entry in the home. I'm going to get back to that in a second. Check this out. So here's a new update. They're now looking into the hours of Zaina and Ethan, who were at the Sigma Chi fraternity house hours before they were killed. So that's where they were before they were killed. So they were at a frat house. Who knows what they were doing? And before they went back to their home. So there you go. That's all I got for an update. Insidious?
I don't know. Seems like the police are contradicting themselves quite a bit.
I don't know if they're contradicting. They're just finding new evidence that proves.
It's like they're back at nothing.
Yeah, from what I'm reading, they're on the manhunt for 2 possible suspects.
Yeah,
like Michael just said.
Are you talking about the 2? Are you talking about the 2 stalkers?
Yeah,
they already got them.
They've already had them in custody. They've already talked to them. And they cleared them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seems like everybody that they're getting in touch with, they said they had video surveillance showing them at the place, showing them leaving. Which, okay, you have them. You're showing them leaving. Hello, and you're showing them following her out. Isn't that not probable cause?
It was probable cause. They talked to them, but they cleared them for the murders.
Of how? You have video proof him following them out the damn door. How did they know he didn't follow them home?
Dude, maybe they know something we don't. We're in Iowa. They're in Idaho.
The point is, it just seems like they're contradicting themselves a lot. They're clearing everybody.
Well, first they thought it was an ex-boyfriend of the girls. They talked to them. They ruled them out. Then they thought it was somebody else. They ruled him out.
You know what?
They thought it was the stalkers.
I bet
They
you they
ruled
have
them
a
out.
Temwa cops over there.
Huh?
I bet you they have a Temwa OPD over there.
Oh, brother.
Who's joking? I'd love to be in their interrogation. Did you ever make contact? No, I didn't. I just followed her home. No, I didn't. I didn't do that. So you didn't do any of these things? Nope. Okay, you're free to go.
Well, there you. Come on, we both know it's more than that. I bet you that they chatted with them, realized. Come on, come on. Look, let's face it. It's not just the local police involved. It's the state. Oh, they're interrogating correctly.
Oh, I bet they're not.
Well, who knows? Maybe it is them. Maybe they did have them, but maybe they saw the evidence right now. They ain't got any proof. And dude, this is a murder. There is no statutory limitation. You gotta make sure your ducks in a row.
My thing is, I want to know if all the doors and windows were locked.
They
They
don't
got
know
in the
that.
back door.
Well, we don't know. Well, that's a good question, Mr. Chief, because they did say there was no forced entry. So whoever did it, either it was unlocked or they had a key,
No. They
Or they found a window open.
door.
or open. Well, unlocked meaning open door, open window.
Open door. The dog got out. They said they found the dog wandering around outside.
Oh, did they? I didn't know about that.
So that means they opened the damn door and let the dog out.
Or the dog ran out when the bad guy came in, or out.
I'm going to say he ran out before. He got rid of the dog first.
Maybe.
Probably threw a bone out. Be a smart thing to do.
See, that's another thing. Tell me if I'm wrong, but normally when a stranger comes in, the first thing a small dog will do is yip, 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 yip.
Not if dogs.
Unless the dog knew him. I mean, think about it. I think the dog knew him because mostly somebody would just evidence. But if the person knew the dog, they're like, "Oh, we don't want to kill the innocent doggy." I don't know. Just a thought. That means I'm not so sure it would be a stalker because the stalker wouldn't know them. See, it's so there you go. So you thought maybe the stalker, but the stalker wouldn't know them to a point where they would have easy access to the home.
Could have been someone else from the college that followed them.
Okay.
Well, that's why they're looking into that
Hold
frat
up.
house right now.
Hold up. This is coming out of the UK, and this is a live broadcast, so
Ooh,
I might
something
screen
new.
share this. This was 37 minutes ago. It says Idaho murderers live. Victims' families vent anger and frustration as Kaylee Gonkal's stalker details emerge.
Sure.
Give me a second.
According to this, one of the families has already hired a private investigator.
Well, that I don't know if I'd want that to happen.
Because they don't think the police and the FBI are doing their job correctly.
All right, let me blow this up.
Were killed, some were more severe than the other. And this week we heard the target attack walk back and then reverse it back to it being a target attack. What can you tell us about the targeted attack?
They have told us that it was targeted, but they told us they can't tell who. We asked specifically, and they said that we'll try to get that information to you. And they got back to us a day or so later, and they said, we're sorry, we can't give you that information. But then a day later, we saw in the news that it was not targeted, or they think the whole house was targeted. But
I'll cut to the chase. Their means of death don't match. Maddie, they don't, and Kaylee's cause of death. If that's based on the autopsy report. I don't know. Would indicate that one of them. He doesn't have to go to the test. Let's stop playing games, guys. I need somebody to step up and be an alpha. I need somebody to be a leader. Don't make me do it. I don't want to do it. He doesn't have to go up the steps. Their points of damage don't match. I'm just gonna say it. Wasn't leaked to me. I earned that. I paid for that funeral. I paid for that. It's my right. You ain't taking that from me. Calm down. If you don't want to say nothing, that's your bet. But don't say I'm leaking anything. I paid that bill. Sent my daughter to college to get an education. She came back in a box, and I can speak on that.
Wow.
This weird new.
I'm gonna be honest. There was a little bit of times in that when it was a little hard of hearing. Could you share that link in our comments, and I'll probably gonna rehear some of that later.
Did you hear that ending?
Oh yeah, he's pissed.
He's like, I paid to send my daughter to college. Instead, I get her back in a box.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's pissed, but who wouldn't be? So, what are you saying? He's saying the wounds didn't match up.
He was saying, hold on, I'm sharing it to you now, and you can replay it because it was hard of hearing on my end. I should have probably went to the private chat with that. My apologies.
That's fine. So, what are you thinking on that?
As a father to 5, I couldn't imagine.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the emotion dread. I'm talking about what he said about the wounds.
Well, that was the mom that was talking about that.
Oh, then he said it too.
Well, he's getting pissed at the police mainly. Go on ahead and replay it. I didn't get to hear it all that well either. I just heard mainly the ending.
All right, let's see if it works on my end. Oh, well, that didn't help.
Are you trying to cut and copy it?
Oh. I don't know if I can.
Hold on. Check the private.
There you go. It worked. It worked that time. Thanks.
On the private? Yeah.
Yeah.
Need to get rid of all these other ones.
The other file
if anybody wants to listen to
the
this,
means of the match. So that's what he said.
So if anybody wants to listen to this on your own, you can. The link is in the comments. Unless Ghost is going to try and screen share it on his end.
I don't know what Ghost is trying to do at this point. Better on this. I'll try it again. And we're gonna reshare that thing. Maybe it's louder. We'll try again. We'll show. What? Okay. Okay, so they said that it was targeted, but they don't know who was actually targeted. All right, so there's something. All right, continuing. It went from targeted to not targeted to the whole house was targeted. So it went from an individual was targeted to no one was targeted to the whole house was targeted.
I see what they're getting mad about.
All right, continuing. What about it? Oh. All right, we already know the rest of this. All right, so all right, so like last time we were talking about that, it went from individually targeted, no targeted, whole house was targeted. Nothing
I'm
is saying. But
after
you
hearing
can't
the
get mad at.
parents.
But
After
you can't.
hearing the parents, they are
Mhm,
saying the exact same thing I said.
mhm.
It's a contradiction.
But here's a question for you: is that normal though? For
No, no,
you didn't let me
because
finish.
most police departments will not share any information unless it is concrete, 100%. Why are they leaking them anything? Why are they telling them
Because they
anything?
want. I think it's because they need help. They want the people to like come forward and say something, like the dad was saying.
Yeah, but why would you give the parents false hope of something? Why would you keep telling the parents, "Hey, this is what's going on," when this isn't what really is going
Because the
on?
parents, because the parents, everybody that's close to this is usually involved every step of the way. And the problem is the detectives, they get one theory, they run with it until it no longer works. Then they got to start over with another theory, run with it
But
until it doesn't
but
work. And the problem is they tell them theory A, then they told them theory B, then they told them theory C. The problem is none of these theories are working. And now we're probably on theory F or G or something.
well, as what he was saying is, it was to the stalkers. Well, oh, now it isn't the stalkers. Well, before nobody was targeted. Now everybody's targeted. Now the whole house is targeted. He's saying what I'm saying. The whole thing is a walking, talking contradiction.
Mm.
Read all the news reports from day one. They're all saying they all say something different, and then they backtrack. It's like you guys have nothing. But instead of saying you have nothing, you're going to keep pushing the paper. You're going to keep pushing and pushing before eventually you get tired of doing your damn job and close it up and say it's a cold case.
Oh, there's no way
Guess
in
what?
hell they're going to get away with
It's a
that.
Tumblr all
Hey,
over.
check your private chat.
Yeah, I saw this. It's just the two rooms.
Yeah,
Did you? Yeah.
I actually checked into this one. I wanted to actually watch it, but
All right, give me a second. I'll put it up.
I can't from my phone.
I just didn't know if it would really have any news. All right, hold on.
see, the thing that gets me about this whole thing is I feel that the
Hold
parents
on.
are getting
Hold on,
disrespected.
serious.
Don't forget to unmute it. I still don't hear anything.
You can't hear that?
No.
All right, give me a minute. Well, I just paused it. Give me a minute. Oh, the damn thing. Listen, I'm sorry, the screen sharing thing was muted. Dumb shit. All right. Now I gotta wait for it to reload.
Excuse me.
Right now, murders of 4 Idaho roommates who were in the house at the time of the stabbings are speaking out as the father of one victim reveals new details about the case. Kana Whitworth with the story. Good morning, Kana.
Yeah, George, good morning. Well, authorities have remained tight-lipped about this. Kaylee Gonzalez's father telling us that his daughter's injuries were far more severe than her best friend Madison's. This is the two roommates break. This morning, survives in her room. In statement read by a pastor at a memorial service. Shares time how the loss of their roommates has affected them. Bethany saying,
They all up any room they walked in. I wish everyone one last hug and say how much I love them.
and Dylan writing,
I know somewhere Xana and Ethan are watching us and telling us it's okay. Maddie and Kaylee were like second moms to me. They changed the way I look at life and how to enjoy life.
their statements coming as frustration grows over the investigation. Shanna, Ethan, Maddie, and Kaylee moved 3 weeks ago, but still no suspect has been identified. Overnight, Kaylee Gonzalez's father confirming to ABC News that Kaylee's wounds were much more severe than her Madison's. Fox News.
Their points of which don't match. Sent my daughter to college to get an education. She came back to speak on it.
Steve telling ABC News he learned the details.
Her death certificate, what happened, and there's other things, but they say it's not the right time.
Gonzalez also saying that Kaylee died in bed next to Madison on the 3rd floor of their home. Shanna and Ethan in the middle floor, and the surviving roommates, Bethany and Dylan, on the ground floor. After the murders, they called friends over to the house. Eventually, the 911 call was made from one of their phones.
No call to 911. Comforting to know that it wasn't just a matter of somebody picking up a phone.
Authorities maintain this was a targeted attack and say they've received some 3,000 tips. But now, with more mounting questions, the concern taking a toll not only on the community, but
community is we are, and we are part of the community. And we don't just say that, we believe it. We try to give back to our community.
now many students not even returning after fall break, and the campus is getting ready to close down again for the holidays. But one note to pass along, you guys. Ethan's fraternity started a scholarship in his name, and they have already surpassed their goal of $100,000.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Kana, we appreciate it.
Interesting. So, but seriously, this is why. So, this is what I was trying to say earlier, is that you have 3,000 plus tips. The cops have to look into them just to make sure that they're, whether or not they are true or not. And then you get all these theories. It's like they have to look into them. Because if they don't, and it turned out one of those tips was the real deal, it's going to look even worse.
Did they investigate the person that installed the new locks?
A random locksmith? Probably not.
Gotta look everywhere.
Come on.
Maybe the back door wasn't unlocked.
What begs the question? So
It's a theory.
they went. So they went into the home. They went up to the second floor, killed. Went to the third floor, killed, and then left. But they left the two on the main floor alive. But here's the thing. So the girl on the third floor, they're thinking was the main target because she had more wounds. What if she was the last target and he figured, you know what, I got more time, I'll have more fun? No?
So, according to the report I'm reading, a retired New York police sergeant says that there was probably a crap ton of evidence, but the second one of them called 911 and they all swarmed the bedrooms, the evidence went bye-bye. Contaminating a crime scene. The police should have responded before the paramedics.
Paramedics know better. The paramedics would most like. Paramedics usually like they make a report of what it is they've seen and turn it over to the police department with stuff like that.
I was going to actually say something way different.
Knock yourself out. It's your conspiracy theory tonight. Go.
Stories don't make sense, boys.
No, none of it does.
No, the girls don't make
What do you mean?
sense. Unconscious? They were stabbed. With all the stab wounds, there'd be blood. You would know they ain't unconscious. What gave them the idea that they were unconscious? What did he change blankets? Like, come on. Something don't add up. I'm just trying to wrap my head around their stories, man. It just doesn't make sense. And surely, if I'm a smart enough detective or officer, I would be asking that question. And and once again, how do two people sleep through four people? And then invite more friends over without checking in to see if your other friends are awake
or wanted to join the party.
Yeah. And instead you wait until 11 something and say, oh, they're unconscious. All four are unconscious? Are you kidding me? But what the dad said was what really intrigued me the most. Why was his girl's stab wounds more damageable than the one next to her?
Because there's more rage with that guy.
Exactly, but why?
That was the target?
Exactly, but why?
Hell if I know.
If
You
I'm
find
a cop,
that,
if,
you find the
if I am a detective,
you
100% officer, detective, whatever, these are questions I would be asking.
You just smacked your knee on the gas, didn't you?
No, toe.
Oh.
Yeah, that hurts like hell. But these are questions I would be asking or trying to get with my colleagues about, hey, this doesn't make sense. Why is her wounds more damageable than anybody else's?
Don't you think they've already asked that question? Why do you think they're looking into it? They looked for this. They looked at former boyfriends. They looked at stalkers. Trust me, they're looking into it. They just haven't found anything that was solid to arrest anybody yet. And come on, let's face it. In something that's high profile like this, you want to make sure the last thing you need is something squeaking by or evidence being thrown out because the cops didn't do due diligence.
Well, I'm saying they're not doing their due diligence now. I just pinned a hole in their fucking story.
They're also not releasing everything.
What's there to release? The
Hold
girl's
on.
statement
I just-
enough.
I just read an article that the guy wearing the hoodie in the video of them, the security footage, I think, at the food truck, they've ruled him out. If you're going to stalk someone and plan on killing them, you're going to make sure you know where all the security cameras are wherever they go.
Not really. 9 times out of 10, the best killer is the one hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the case this time.
And most of the time, they like to go back and watch their work.
Again, I'm not buying this one either. I mean,
if it's a serial killer, they do like to watch their work.
Yeah, and that's why a couple of the parents don't want to have a funeral yet, because they think the weirdo will show up.
I have a question. If you felt that would help catch the killer, would you go ahead and play the bait?
To what?
To catch the killer at the funeral, but how are you going to know he or she's the killer? Unless you have an FBI agent, a behavioral analysis officer there to study everybody's face or everybody's body tone, you won't know who it is.
Simple. You have one of those camera thingamajigs outside the funeral home that scans everybody's face as it comes in, and then go through every single face and say, okay, where were they when the killing? Okay, this person was here. Check this person.
That'll waste too much time.
At this point, do they really have any alternatives?
Because by the time here's what the cops are going to say. By the time they get through that entire list of everybody at the funeral, the killer's going to be gone.
Someone just call Reed. That's all we need. Just Reed.
It's already been 3 weeks, dude. If the killer wanted to be gone by now, he'd be gone.
I think he's nearby.
So then flush him out. He's either nearby, like you said, or the son bitch is already in Canada.
And if the person's nearby, he's watching all the news media just like everybody else.
That's why they're not releasing everything. They don't want to give him a tip that they're on.
Exactly.
Nope. This guy's there, right in front of them. Guarantee it. It's going to be somebody they wouldn't ever suspect. It'll be years later, and they're going to be like, he was here the whole time. You think? Right in front of you. The part that gets me is no DNA.
Supposedly. Like you guys said, unless he came in a hazmat suit, they have to have DNA somewhere. And they're just waiting for it to come back. Or it came back and the person's not in the system.
The other thing that gets me also is the fact is they, out of all the blood, 4 victims, this guy managed to go back through the house without putting blood prints anywhere.
Yeah.
Even if he did, the blood would just be that of the victims and not necessarily himself.
That's my point. There was no blood trail leaving the fucking house.
And there was no drips of the blood off of the murder weapon.
Well, if it's a knife, you just
So
put
he
it back
had-
against his holster.
No, you would have wiped it off first.
Mm-hmm.
Which you
Maybe,
probably
maybe not, depending on how much time you had. But another thing that you mentioned,
Well, obviously, to kill 4 people, he had plenty of fucking time.
You said they would. Right, that's my point. But you're talking about his DNA being left behind the scene. You want to make sure that whatever was left behind the scene had no reason to be there. Let's say like a piece of hair or something like that. Oh, if it was someone that knew them because there was no forced entry or anything in the dog, then he could easily say, Yeah, I visited them all the time. You got to make sure of what. Now, if it's blood there, now that's a whole different ballpark. Okay, wow,
Mhm.
where's the blood there? Had a nosebleed? Maybe,
I think the point,
but I doubt
Michael,
it.
the point,
How you get the blood? I'm sorry. How you get the DNA is crucial. Your fingerprint won't do it. A hair won't do it. It has to be most likely blood.
but that's the point we're making. How does a guy kill 4 people and not leave a blood trail?
Or make a single fucking sound.
Well, the defense not make a sound. Look, holes here, but I'm telling you, there's. We are 3 numbskulls in Iowa. You really don't think a whole team of forensics
huh?
and detectives and
Last
you
time
know,
I checked,
you
you
know
had
what
a
I
college degree, so you shouldn't be calling yourself a numbskull.
Yeah, I got a degree in science and paralegal. I'm not a freaking detective.
Yeah, but it does take a detective to poke holes in everything they're not seeing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you
What
guys
if-
don't have a point. I'm saying they're not
I
going to
also-
release everything.
That's the point of this being called conspiracy theories. You're ruining the vibe here.
I also read that they used a drone to look over around the
My
house.
job in your conspiracy theory is to keep it somewhat low.
I also read that they used a drone to look around the property to see if they could find footprints or anything.
Ghost
now
got
that
muted.
I know, so like finish what I was saying.
Well,
Now what were you saying?
The thing I was trying to pinpoint out is if they are 100% saying they're doing everything they possibly can over there, then why is there nothing? Because now I have a new theory. What if I'm correct?
There's a cop that did it and they're covering it up?
No.
Oh.
What if it was somebody that's in the fucking house?
One of the 2 girls.
Exactly.
One or both are girls.
No.
Ooh,
Actually, I think the other one. Well, maybe. Yeah, it could have been. I mean, hell, they even said they invited more friends over. Did they talk with those friends?
You're suggesting maybe the 2 girls were never asleep, but in fact were doing the killing.
How do you have nothing at all? No blood trail.
I think they already talked to the 2 girls and they ruled them out.
They rolled everybody that lives in the house that's on the lease
Exactly.
out.
But the stories don't make sense.
You realize once they figure out who it did that all the pieces are going to come and go just fine.
The point is, you don't have a blood trail. You would find a bloody footprint fucking somewhere. Something. He would have had to have stepped in it, had it all over him. Walking down the stairs, he would have had to have grabbed a railing.
And seriously, you do have a point because it takes approximately 30 minutes in normal room temperature settings for blood to dry. So you're right. If there was blood splatters, no way in hell it would have time to dry.
Exactly. So where's all this at? The blood dripping off the knife from going from the 2nd to the 3rd floor. Where's all of this? Where's the blood prints of him leaving? Even with gloves, there'd be everywhere. It just doesn't make sense. Unless the person never left the house. And just made it look like they did. Which has happened before.
But then the question is, let's say more people showed up. Won't they be kind of conspicuous about a guy standing there in the big bloody outfit?
No. Not if it was a group decision.
You think that someone killed them, and then a lot of other people are covering up.
Yeah, why else would you have friends come over? It's a sure shit alibi.
So then you're speculating a whole campus, or at least a small group, conspired to kill him, or at least one of them, and the rest of them. So the question is, you're suggesting they pissed a lot of people off, enough people off to want them all dead?
Don't have to be a lot. You just need one person to manipulate 4 people.
Interesting.
And we've all know how
that is an interesting conspiracy theory. Hence the title of the show.
I'm just saying a lot of things don't make sense.
And yes, I don't know if you know this, but you muted yourself.
Okay.
Can't.
Oh,
you're muted. It says here your mic wasn't connected.
yeah, it's back now.
All right. So what were you saying?
So I'm not saying that this is a sure thing and the cops aren't doing their job. I just have questions on why none of this is being looked into a little further depth.
Well, the thing is, we're assuming it isn't when we don't know what they're thinking. I mean, you get this is back to when I said I call ourselves 3 numbskulls, because there's 3 of us in Iowa that are just going by what is being released in the press, and over there we got dozens and dozens of cops,
but when you
detectives, federal
hear,
agents.
but the thing is, when you hear a parent come out and say this is what they're telling us, and then they're coming back and saying this isn't what it is,
that tells me they went through door 1. That wasn't it. So they tried door number 2. That wasn't it. They're just going down the realm. I mean, there's so many theories and conspiracy theories, not to mention 3,000 plus steps that they're getting. I mean, what's the cop to do in this thing? They gotta look at it all. And this is also Moscow, Idaho. I mean,
all I know is looking at the girls' thing, hearing what they're saying doesn't make sense to me. We were sleeping. 4 people getting murdered. You were sleeping?
Do you know what the population of Moscow, Idaho is? I just looked it up.
I don't.
574 people. We had more people than that in our high school. It's a small town. Well, my point is they had to call in some bigger people. There's probably a place that only has 2 or 3 cops.
So you're saying they got their training degree off of playing Doom?
No, I'm just saying is that you need I'm just saying they probably needed the help. They needed the fresh eyes. They needed a whole team to get them. This is probably the first murder in that city since the city's conception. They probably had no idea what's going on.
Did you say conception?
Yeah, conception, creation of the city.
That proves you don't listen. I said that there was another murder in that city in 2015.
Okay, fine. Maybe there was more, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. My point.
Hey, did they ever catch that
everybody
one?
and their mother knows everybody?
You gotta look that up, don't you, Chief? Yep.
What?
If they ever caught him.
Oh boy.
And then we'll see if
I'm not saying you're wrong, Insidious. I'm just letting you know the process that they're probably thinking.
And
He is currently serving a life sentence for the murder of 3 people.
All right. Well, that's
what?
He is serving a life sentence for murdering 3 people.
How?
in a shooting spree.
I'm starting to wonder if maybe they don't have the wrong guy in there.
Serial killers rarely change their MO. They don't usually go from a gun to a knife.
3 people in a shooting spree. This guy did 4 with a knife.
That's my point. They usually don't change MOs.
They would be if they're thirsty.
I mean, unless it's fucking Jason.
He would be 37 today. He was 30 when he got sentenced.
Well, the funny thing is, that was 7 years ago.
No, look, it's not the same person. If it's same. Anyway,
I don't know.
we're
All I know
pushing on. We're over 52 minutes. Anything else you want to add to this?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my theory. It's in the house.
I'm not going to deny you. I think the 2 girls know something more than they're not sharing. But
I just
I
think it's
can't-
awful. I just think it's a coincidence. That house is awful clean for 4 people just being slain.
well, what? They're not going to release the crime scene photos to the public. Not right now.
That's the first thing that always goes to the press is the details. And so far, those details ain't there because there was none. Normally, those are the first details that come up: blood down the hallway, and so you can see where the person left. They don't even know how he left. You're telling me 4 people killed, guy covered in blood, doesn't leave a drop nowhere? The house is too clean, I'm telling you. The person never left. They stayed. That's why they never found nothing.
If there is anybody in Idaho that is going to be near the location of where this happened, Wednesday and Thursday morning, don't go near the area. The police are removing belongings from the 4 victims so they can be returned to the families.
There goes more evidence out the window.
And they're asking the public to stay away from that area. Because it is still an active crime scene.
Not if they're taking the belongings out.
Right?
I'm going to do one more thing real quick. Give me a second.
No sign of sexual assault.
Well, I don't think he wouldn't have time to do that.
You'd be surprised. They're estimating it's probably someone that was at the frat house and followed the other 2 home.
Yeah, that's the theory they're going at right now. So we'll find out in a few days whether or not that produces any fruit.
Probably not.
Anyway.
And Insidious, are you working Saturday by chance?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll be there at noon.
And then we'll wait till Sunday then.
I got nothing else, but I think Insidious is looking at something.
Still no real news, but yep, the state delivers $1 million to the investigation. Well, that's money well wasted.
You understand just how small Idaho is, guys. You really do. The population of the whole state of Idaho is 1.78 million. I mean, we have 3.1, so we got literally twice as many people that live in Iowa than they do in Idaho. I mean, Idaho's...
Moscow, Idaho's population as of today is 25,850.
What the hell did I just read?
I have no clue. I just Googled it. It is the 14th most populous city in the state of Idaho. So that's a lot of potential suspects.
It does say 25. What the hell? Where did this 574 pop up?
I have no clue.
Check this out. No,
It
this
didn't
isn't even
sound
my
right to
fault.
me. That's why I looked it up.
Well, look what happened. Check this out. So I Googled it. Population Moscow, Idaho. You see this, right? It says population
Yeah.
Moscow, Idaho. And it comes back this. Warm River, Idaho. That's how I got fucked up. How the hell? See? It says Moscow, Idaho over here. It says Moscow, Idaho here. And it gives me what? It says Moscow is a city located in Latah County, Idaho. And it gives me Warm River. So that's what threw me off. What the freaking doodle? Stupid Google. I apologize.
Hey,
This is what
private chat, read.
Fox
Both
News
of you,
Digital
private
Television
chat, read.
influence of the criminals. The first floor. Holy!
Hold on. Reread that.
I don't need to reread it. I can read.
Reread. Hold on. I'm going to pinpoint one key word here.
Grizzly?
Grizzly?
Nope.
Dripping?
Dripping?
First
Nope.
floor? Exterior?
Nope. I'm going to put it up.
Officer? First floor. That's multiple words. From the first floor
but they
bedroom.
were killed on the second and third.
That is a good question. I really wish we knew what the layout of the inside of the house looked like.
I can help you.
How long does our podcasts last before they were cut off?
Whenever we shut it off.
Oh, so we don't have like a limit. I just remember our old podcast. They would cut us off after an hour.
That's when we wanted to do a replay on YouTube.
Yeah, but 2 of our streamings are sent to YouTube. So I apologize for my stupid computer telling me the wrong population number. So.
Are you looking at the Fox News site there, Insidious?
Yeah, why?
Because there's a
That's what-
picture of blood on a wall.
Can you share it?
I'm getting ready to send it to him so he can send it to you because I'm looking at it on my tablet and I don't have Messenger on my tablet.
That's fine.
Check Discord, Insidious, your private messages.
Give me a second. Running through Google. All right, Michael.
What's up?
Sending you.
What you got?
Both of you can look at this if you want. I will not be putting these up in the full chat. I mean, in the comments. So there you go.
Why not?
Because I'm having some respect. There's your layout you guys wanted to see.
Or tell me. I mean, you're talking about the real estate property, right?
Yep, that's it.
Pretty balcony.
Beautiful house on the inside.
Dude, it entirely would be disrespectful, man. But it still doesn't give me a good idea what the hell we're looking at.
Did you get that, Insidious?
Yeah, I have it loading up now. It's not really loading. It just keeps showing the blood running down the. I'm gonna open it up in Chrome. My phone's being stupid. It's not gonna let me view it.
Come on.
No, I am just really confused on that though. Blood shown dripping down from the first floor bedroom down to the exterior wall at the back of the house. Okay. Now I get to answer my next question. Ghost. You ready? Now
What you got?
it says here it was a very bloody crime scene inside. But yet the girls called for an unconscious person.
Ghost, check your email.
Insidious losing his fucking mind, yes. Telling you, man, stuff ain't making sense in this case.
No, it ain't.
Oh, good Lord.
What?
Great.
January
Wait,
1st.
you know exactly what.
What, this?
Yes, that.
January 1st.
He's been wanting to do it, and I told him to hold off till January.
January 1st, 1 month.
This too?
And I will poke holes in every single one of their things. Kind of like I just did with this, how I just picked this apart. I will do the exact same thing.
You're gonna call me an ass.
All right,
For
do you
what?
want me to play this video?
January
Yeah.
1st. What's wrong with New Year's Day?
Because I don't think you're gonna be in the right state of mind to discuss this.
How do you figure?
I know what you do on the first.
The
Michael,
first
go
is
ahead.
I'll be working. I gotta work.
On New Year's
I
Day?
gotta work. Yes,
Actually,
I'll
you
be
know
there at noon. I'll be there Christmas Eve at noon. I'll be there New Year's Eve at noon.
That place is shut down on New Year's Day.
Yeah, but stuff from the night before isn't.
There.
7th.
Whatever.
It's a Saturday, and I don't have to work the next morning.
All right. All right, hold on. Okay. Everyone just shush.
But you're not open New Year's Day either. You're not open New Year's Day either.
Yes, I am.
What time
Yes,
is
I
that?
am. I don't know.
Oh, shit. Who's the wrong one?
I
What
hear
time is
echo.
that?
Totally ghost.
At least his loaded. Mine didn't even
This
load.
holiday season, Verizon gives you the new
At
iPhone
least his
14
loaded.
Pro
Mine
plus
didn't even
Apple Watch
load.
SE, iPad,
Hey,
and Beats Fit
Steve.
Pro, all on us, and unlimited plans forever.
Yes.
30
Yes.
Verizon.
All right, here we go.
I officially see why he's lagging. His internet connection is only at 2 bars. His internet connection is only at 2 bars.
Who, mine?
Yes. Yes.
Better not be. I'm paying for 5G over here.
Yeah, and you've only got two internet signals.
Hmm.
Yeah, you got a whole 2 bars. Mine's fully lit.
Hmm. Well, I'm also trying to do multiple things here.
That shouldn't
And
matter.
failing miserably. Miserably.
Play.
I've got like 4 different tabs popped up on mine, plus my phone and 3 other things on it. I'm still running fast.
Let me get this to work first.
You could just send it to Insidious and see if he can get it to load on his computer.
No, it's not that. Just kids want to freaking do a pop-up ad every 5 seconds. Trying to get past it. All right. I got it fixed. There you go.
Horrific murder of the 4 University of Idaho students. Officials now saying the attack at their off-campus house was targeted with a, quote, edged weapon, such as a knife. Police are not releasing any more details than that, but they say there is no concern for public safety, despite them having no suspects in custody. Fox Nation host Nancy Grace joins us now. Good morning to you, Nancy.
Good morning. I appreciate the authorities are saying no one is at risk. There's no risk to the community, but students are leaving in droves after a quadruple murder at an off-campus home, 6-bedroom, 3-bath. And no one has been arrested yet, not even a person of interest named. Now, local police there in Moscow, Idaho, have brought in the state police, which is a good thing, not to suggest that they're in any way inept. It's just that the state police had many more resources to help. Interesting, they're saying a serrated edge was the weapon. That leads us to believe it was a knife. Very interesting how 4 students can be overcome by one person with a knife, not a gun. There is speculation there's more than one defendant. Sounds unlikely to me. The male victim, Ethan, was found on the 2nd floor. No suggestion as to where the women were found. Was he killed first and then the others killed after? Very curious as to whether they were asleep at the time.
Any chance there could be suicide? Maybe stab 3 of them and then stab themselves?
I find that very hard to believe. If you look at a photo taken just a few hours before this quadruple murder, which I might add, it's a painstaking process to process that scene. They're looking for fingerprints, fiber, blood of the perpetrator. I don't see a murder-suicide here. They were pictured a couple of hours before, happy and healthy. And I just found out a late-night Twitch video reveals 2 of them out getting snacks at a food truck just a couple of hours before all 4 murdered. All 4 from rural areas. 2 of them grew up together, lifelong friends, no animosities. But still, fear is hanging over the community because of no arrest.
I bet you're right. I bet it was while they were sleeping. Yeah, because it would be hard to do that to 4 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Casey Anthony, the specials revealing that.
All right. We don't need to talk about that one. That's a whole nother conspiracy theory for a whole different day.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Hey, Ghost. If you scroll down, there should be a picture of the house.
I didn't see any. Mine wasn't loading up.
And I think it's just going to stay away from that conspiracy idea. Yeah.
What one?
No.
What one?
You want to talk about Casey Anthony sometime?
Who?
Okay, good.
You say Casey Anthony?
The woman that was accused of killing her daughter a few years ago.
I want no part of that.
Neither do I.
For once,
we both have girls, so no. But I gotta head to bed because I do work in like a few hours. So
yeah, same here.
Why don't we go ahead and end this then?
Unless you got anything else to say this.
No, I have nothing else to say on this for tonight. I mean, I could go all day about it, but the results are not going to change anything. They're all just theories.
All right, play the ending.
Give me 2
See you
seconds.
guys. See you guys. I don't know when, but we'll see you guys around. This is The Ghost, and thank you for watching our podcast.
I am Insidious. Thanks for watching this podcast.
And I am the Chief. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night.